Hey, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Today we've got something really cool for you to check out. I'm with Don Carr. Great to see you, Don.
Great to be here, Mitch.
Tone Master Pro.
What about it?
Well, what about it? Jewel light.
Yeah. Man, you gotta love. That's the first thing everybody notices, right?
Yeah,
it's so cool. What a great little touch. And that, honestly, that's one of the things that I like so much about this is the little touches, the little details that make this thing so easy to use, sound great,
Right.
Yeah.
So we're both big fans of the Tone Master amps.
Right.
You can't argue with the tone. You can't argue with the fact they're so lightweight.
Yeah.
Fender just does a great job of recreating that tube amp experience.
Yeah, every detail about the tube amp experience.
Yep.
And here it is now. We're in this.
In a multi-model 100 amps.
Yeah.
Effects, 100 effects. I don't know how many effects are in there actually, but all kinds of cabinets, all kinds of microphones. But the cool thing about it is not only does it sound fantastic, it's really easy to use.
Yeah, that's one of the things that caught me right away is how simple it is. Just to step through, it's touch screen and turn a knob, and it's just like working gear.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Is.
And there is an app that accompanies this that lets you do basically everything. It just kind of mirrors back and forth.
Yeah, no learning curve with the app because it's basically the same as the screen, which is great.
Yep, cool. Well, let's dig in a little deeper and check out what's going on with this.
Okay.
So from a general organizational standpoint, pretty much everything centers around this touch screen, color touch screen. You can touch an item, it'll open up and give you access to all the parameters and all those good things. We've got Footswitches arrayed down here that can show you presets. They can allow you to turn effects on and off. You can bank up, you can bank down. There's a looper here, tab tempo, all that good stuff.
Built-in tuner.
Exactly, yeah, and also the Footswitches are actually knobs as well for adjusting parameters. So again, just super easy to navigate and get around. Really easy to build your own presets as well.
Yeah, and you can easily modify existing presets or just start from scratch. It's really not a big deal. It's very simple. It's really just choose from a list, touch, confirm, and there you go. And I like that you can either adjust things on the screen or when you pull, like, for example, let's pull the amp back up, all of a sudden you've got gain, volume, low, mid. You've got your controls right here. So you can dial it like a knob, and I love the grippy.
Yeah, they feel real solid. It doesn't feel like the knobs themselves feel good, but even just stepping makes it very easy to adjust things, and this feels durable. Feels like you could take it on stage and step on it. It's going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah. So, of course, we have comprehensive I/O here as well. We've got two inputs, actually. They can be mic, they can be line, they can be guitar. So you could run a synthesizer through this. You could plug a microphone into this. Of course, your guitar can plug into it. We've got 4 effect sends and returns for external pedals or stereo sends. You could use those to route out to different amplifiers, different destinations and things. So those 4 sets of ins and outs for connecting external gear add a lot of flexibility to the Tone Master Pro.
Yeah, a ton. And that's the thing is that you've got a master configurator that just shows you, okay, here's what you do with this, here's what you do with that, assign this to here, whatever. Yeah,
it's very easy to set all that up.
Right.
We go back to the screen, we just touch output. We can see the main analog outputs, for example. But if we go back over here to input, now we have all our different configurations: instrument, mic, line, parallel, instrument split, mic line split. All kinds of different ways we can set up routings here. Now we also have, as you saw there, multiple outputs. We've got the analog outputs in there in stereo or mono, whichever way you want to use those. And we also have USB out as well, which is very cool. Headphone output for silent practicing. So they're giving you everything you need.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And a minor detail, but man, back to the detail thing. The headphone out sounds really good.
Yeah.
It really sounds good. It doesn't sound like, oh yeah, we stuck a headphone out on there. It sounds like you're in the studio listening on a set of headphones.
Right. And we should make sure we're clear that that USB port is for more than just connecting up the app. You also can use that as an audio interface.
Oh,
in and out.
really? Okay.
So you can record direct into your computer. This can serve as basically the audio interface for your studio.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, very cool. In addition to all those, we'll say, those everyday basic kind of connections that you're going to use all the time, there's also a stereo aux input, so you could route a music player into this. We've got MIDI in and out.
Yeah.
And an important thing is we also have multiple connections for expression pedal, foot switch.
Right, and multiple options in there. There's like a toe switch and an amp channel changer, and you know, again, you can assign this stuff however you want to.
Right, and it's very easy to do.
Yeah.
We've actually got the Fender branded Mission Engineering expression pedal here that does have the toe switch. You can use that as a wobble. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. So maybe the easiest way to start exploring the ToneMaster Pro is to actually build a patch from scratch. We can use the foot switches to choose different presets. We can bank up, bank down, select presets and so on. We also have the preset knob. We can push that to get the gig view, which if you're on stage, that's very useful to have a big
Just
view.
really clear. Okay, it's like, oh yeah, I'm on that
That's
preset.
exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Push that and we return to the preset view here. We've also got the master control here. That's your master volume control. If you push that, you get your mixer. And so you can see what levels are being sent to each of the outputs. Push again to exit from that and so on.
Oh, we've also got list view here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's another.
So when you
nice.
hit that, you can scroll through very quickly. We've got factory presets in that bank. If we press down here, we've got our set list, and we've also got our songs. We'll be talking more about those in just a little bit. We've got the cloud. Now this can actually connect to the cloud. You can save presets up there. You can download presets from other people. It's a great resource for getting a ton of different sounds loaded in.
Yeah.
We've got the Fender presets, the factory presets. You can save your favorite presets here. For example, we've got one called Maximus Twin that we like. And then we can return to My Presets. And if we scroll all the way down, or we click plus, we can go to a new preset. And this is where we can start creating things. And that's a good way to explore the ToneMaster Pro. So to begin a preset, probably the place you'd want to start is to add an amp.
Let's do it.
Adding in a block is as easy as clicking the plus, and then you can choose whatever you want. What do we want to go for today?
Oh, I don't know. How about a deluxe?
How about a deluxe? All right. Do we want a combo?
Yeah.
Or you want the amp only?
Let's do a combo.
All right. So there's our deluxe combo. We'll click confirm, and there it is. And now we can click on that. That'll open up to show us the controls. We can also bypass that if we want to compare, and so on. We've got a noise gate. We've got amp level associated with each one. You can see we've got a 1x12 cabinet. If it was a separate head, we could also load a separate cabinet with that to get the sound we want. We're going to look more closely at the cabinets because there's some cool stuff happening there.
Definitely.
All right. When we're done, we can click the arrow to return, and now we can start adding effects.
Sure.
And we can either put them before, after the amp. We can create parallel paths. We can split the signal. There's lots of different routing options here.
Right.
So what do you want to add in there?
You know what? Let's add a delay.
Let's add a delay. You want it before or after the amp?
Let's do it after the amp.
After the amp. All right. So we'll click the plus here. Scroll down to effects. We will choose delay. How about the memory delay?
Let's do it.
Yep. Missed it. There it is. Click confirm. Now we have our memory delay there. If we click on that, that'll open right up. And again, we have our parameters here, and the parameters are arrayed on the foot switch knobs here. So we can adjust those. So we've got time. We can adjust tap divisions, feedback, and so on. So what do we have so far?
Let's see what we got.
Very nice. Very nice. Maybe turn the mix down just a little bit. We can add more modulation. Very cool. All right. That's a great sound of deluxe.
Man, that is. Just open it up. I mean, we didn't even touch it.
Haven't touched the thing.
haven't moved the mic. We haven't done anything.
What else you want on there?
Geez, you want to put a, let's put some kind of gain pedal in front of it. What do you
Sounds
think?
good. All right. So we click the pedal on this side.
Effects.
Select our effects. Well, we're on stop box here. We can scroll down. Let's go with the royal tone.
Let's do. That was kind of where I was headed to.
We'll open that up. Thank you. And let's hear what that sounds like. That sounds great.
Let's go to work, man.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
I think we're done, yeah. So we can bypass that. Just click the button. Now we're just back to the straight amp. Step on that again. We've also got all of the, again, associated controls, so we can go to boost.
Right.
Oh, go the other direction. Overdrive. That sounds good.
Yeah, sounds really
all
good.
right. So let's go back here. So now we've got some gain. We've got our delay effect on our amplifier. We actually have reverb on that. We've also got trem there that we can add in if we want to. And when we're ready, all we have to do is click save. We can name the preset, and what should we call that?
Let's call it MD Deluxe. How about that?
There you go.
Mitch Don Deluxe.
I like it. M, Shift, D. We need a space in there. There we go. D-E-L-U-X-E. And then to save, we just drop the keyboard back down, click the save button, and there we are. All right, we can go back to our path if we want. Now, we have a couple of different ways we can work with that as far as performance using the foot switches. First of all, we have our switches here so we can switch among different presets.
Right.
But we can also assign the foot switches to individual effects and treat this more like a pedal board with an amp. So if we go to foot switch assign, we see our 6 switches there. So let's assign this switch to on off for the
Royal.
For the Royal, we'll confirm that. On off, yep, all good. Okay, and we could assign this one to on off for the delay. And now, if we go to foot switch mode, we can treat this like a pedal board. Now, the really powerful thing here is each foot switch can be assigned to multiple destinations. So we could have one foot switch that turned both those pedals on and off. We could actually have 2 different amps and bypass one amp and go to the second amp. We can have incredibly complex
Yeah, and you can have it do parameter changes as well on effects or on the amp. So you can have like the same amp with 2 different settings.
Yeah.
You know, you have like an easy solo boost thing or whatever.
It makes it so versatile to take this on stage. I mean, you could almost create a preset and have that be your pedal board and do major changes from like all the effects on to no effects on to just a couple of effects on. And it's all as easy as hitting that foot switch assign. I mean, it really is simple to do that. So we could assign this to on off, assign it to both, confirm. We're back over here. And now, so cool.
Yeah.
And if we look here, you can actually see that we could change the color of that to yellow. For example, we can set whether it's latching or momentary, so you could bring that on and off. So if we put that to momentary, now we go back. Pretty cool, right?
That is slick. And you can name it as well. You can give it a custom
You
name.
could give it a custom name, yeah. So, man, the whole foot switch thing is so cool in the Tone Master Pro. It's one of the best implementations I've seen.
It really is. It's a very logical layout. It's very useful. I mean, it's you know, hey man, I'm a guitar player. It's guitar player friendly. You know what I'm saying?
And it's super simple also. I mean, like you say, guitar player friendly. And it makes sense that when you step on things, they do what you expect them to do.
You're right. And it shows up so clearly in the display. That's one of the other things. I really like the graphics on this because it's really not much of a question what you're doing at any given time.
Yep, exactly. And we can also go in and do a very similar thing with the expression pedal. So we could assign the expression pedal that we've got plugged into, we'll assign it to the drive pedal. We'll assign it to gain.
Okay.
So let's see what we did there.
Okay.
Step on the expression pedal. And
expression pedal down.
Now, I believe that we could also go back, if I'm not mistaken, we could also assign that here and have that be, say, let's put it on delay mix. So you can see we've got both pedals assigned there, gain and the mix for the delay. So now as you step on that, we should get the gain going up and we should get the mix going up at the same time. how easy is that?
Super easy. And you can get in there and tweak like the range of all that stuff too, so it doesn't have to be all the way on, all the way off. You know?
Yep, there's a lot of control.
Yeah.
So you can see that we have multiple expression assignments here. We can do it over MIDI. We've got 2 expression pedal inputs plus the toe switch.
Right.
So again, for wah type effects. Or if you want to use that toe switch, we could be using that toe switch to bypass the delay.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, or
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many different control options that taking this on stage, man, you can really set it up exactly the way that you want it.
Yeah, the thing that works for you and makes sense for you, and that's what's really hard about a lot of all-in-one boxes in general. Just in a general sense, it's like you have to look at it and go, does this make sense for the way I think about it when I'm going to actually be using it? And man, this to me,
It does.
Boy,
It does, absolutely.
really well thought out.
So there's a cool thing here, because this is so powerful, there is a ton of DSP power in here. Well, let's just show it. So play something with the pedal down so we're getting a ton of feedback and gain on that. So there's actually complete spillover here. I mean, you can have it. Basically, the way that it's set up, if I understand it correctly, is it's really running 2 presets at once. It's running your last preset and your next preset simultaneously.
Yeah, they're all completely loaded, so no matter what you're doing, like if you had an infinite repeat delay, you could just go on and start playing over the next sound, and both of them would be happening at the same time, which, you know, another brilliant thing that makes it way easier to organize presets and songs and set lists and all that sort of thing, because it's just preset to preset. That's all you have to do.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, there's another mode here that we should talk about since we're talking about infinite repeat and all those kinds of things. Let's go back here.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to turn that feedback back down on the delay pedal so we're not running away quite so bad. And there's a very powerful looper here. And it will record basically everything you're doing, so you can change again from preset to preset with that. So if we hold the foot switch mode, we go to looper, we've got record overdub, you can undo, half speed, reverse, one shot, so on.
Right.
And you can do it all with your feet, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be hard for you to do it with your feet.
Right, where it's a little awkward. I mean, no, let's not. You know,
let's try teamwork.
Can we tandem this?
We'll do. Let's see what we can do.
Man. Wish us luck.
Yes.
Wish us luck, everybody.
Not too bad for 2-man in it.
Yeah, exactly. On the fly.
On the fly.
I like it. 2-man on the fly. Good teamwork, Mitch.
Right.
Excellent.
Now, one thing I really like here is that while that's playing, we can adjust the volume of the loop. Of course, you can do that with any looper.
Right.
But the cool thing here is we can adjust that using the knob or foot switches. That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's really slick.
That is really slick, and it's really important because obviously if you want to stay on the same sound, you can pull the volume down and then play over top of it. But one of the nice things about this is that you can change sounds, right?
You can indeed, and as we heard, the effects are recorded right into that loop as well. Right. So we've got all the delay and everything. If we exit out, we can choose another preset. Let's bank down here. I think we found obviously a lot of great. There's the one. We'll try that one. How's that sound? All right, let's bring the volume up on that particular preset a little bit. Exit back out. You saw how easy it was to adjust the preset volume, so we can balance all of those. We can save that preset now with the new volume, and basically we're good to go. All right, so we're playing. Hit stop, and we're done. But we can also, of course, half speed. It's always fun. Reverse. But I like one shot also. So if you just want to add a part, just step on it one time and have a riff come in or have a little lick come in.
Yeah.
I mean, super cool way to do it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So the looper, obviously very powerful, and one of those additional features that's just so useful.
And super easy to access.
Yep.
Again, that's the layout, the ease of use.
Yep.
Is pretty amazing.
Keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
That's so important. All right, let's take a little deeper dive. Let's go back to our foot switch mode here where we're on some presets.
Okay.
And let's go back to our preset that we created, which I think was 96, if I remember right.
I believe you're correct, sir.
And let's take a little deeper dive into a few things. There we go, 96. Okay, that's us. Right. Now you saw that we looked at the preset settings to affect the volume. You can also see the signal path type, so we can actually split it. We can add parallel processing, so we could have 2 delays in parallel, or 2 effects in parallel, whatever they might be. We can cancel back out of that. We also can assign our outputs, whatever outputs we want to use. You can have preset spillover actually off if you want. If you're using this with an amplifier, you can use it to change channels using the amp control switch. Scroll up here, we actually have 2 of those. A cool thing is the input impedance. That allows you to actually affect the way the guitar feels and sounds going in.
Right, it tailors the input, and it just completely creates a different thing. Now it's always on auto, so it's like the amp that you're expecting to,
right, it's going to
play.
match that, but you can choose to fix that. So if you want to have it be like plugging into a very high impedance pedal, just select fixed 1 mega ohm. And you're kind of right there. But as you said, when you're on auto, it adjusts it to match whatever you call up.
Yeah. I really appreciate that, as we've seen just even building presets and doing things like this, that the auto settings are really good. When you just pull something up, it's like, oh, well, that's very what you would expect, and it just sounds good.
Very easy. Yep, very easy. So we've got our expression. We can add blocks down there, a tap tempo. I want to look at one thing that's super cool that we've been really talking about here. If we go to our cabinet, you can, we have our cabinet type there. You can choose the microphone that you want, and there's a list of many different types of microphones that you can scroll through. But this grid, isn't that cool?
It's so cool, and it really works. I mean, the thing that kills me about it is, as you move across this matrix, see, it takes a second to figure it out, so let's kind of educate everybody here. So this one is pointing at the cap. This is at the cap edge. That's the cone, and that's the cone edge. So it's not really moving literally all the way across the speaker, but it effectively is because it mirrors it on the other side.
Right.
But when you start changing the distance, man, it really changes it.
Okay, so let's play what you have here now.
Okay.
So we're right on the dust cap.
Yeah.
If we go to the cone edge, it's just so cool because you can choose exactly where you want the microphone.
Yep.
And you can choose whether the microphone is on axis, meaning pointed directly at the cone, or actually turned at an angle.
Right.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it really is.
Back on axis.
And it's interesting too, because it's like as you pull it back, that filtering that happens.
Yep.
As you pull it back, I mean, it's all there.
It's all there.
Yeah.
We've also got a low cut filter that we can dial in. We can, let's go back over here. We can set a high cut filter as well. And this one, to me, is very important.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's that top end stuff that you just want to drop out of there. It doesn't sound real at that point.
Yeah.
So we can drop this back down. If there's a little edginess you want to take out, this high cut filter is very effective for doing that.
Yeah, and it's really great on the high gain stuff, obviously, because that's where you especially if it's really dry and you've got a mic right in the center. Boy, you want to tailor that high end exactly where you want it.
Yep, exactly. And this lets you do it.
Yeah.
There actually is another tone shaping option. Let's go ahead and save our preset there. If we click on the gear, we go to some of the master settings, if you will.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really like here, we have our preferences, of course. We can work with our inputs and outputs. The foot switches, we can set those up, what they're doing. Bluetooth. But the EQ is what I wanted to look at.
Yeah.
There is a master global EQ.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a couple of preset curves here, but you can also save 4 user curves. And again, that can really help you. Say you go into a space, you're going to be playing, and there's just it's all woofy.
Yeah.
You could dial in an EQ curve and save that, and it's applied to everything.
Yeah.
So you can really tailor this to exactly where you're playing, which is super useful.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it makes it really simple. You know?
And you could save presets. So on Sunday, you play at church and you've got a particular curve to match that. On another day, you're playing in a club and you could have a different curve, and you can save those as presets and just call them back up.
Awesome.
Really simple.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the tour, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously stuff we haven't touched on. There's so much going on here. But I think what we should do is let you play through some sounds.
Yeah.
And let's hear what this can do and just how well Fender has captured so many different things. I mean, one of the cool things is obviously the Fender amps.
Right.
But they also have licensed EVH amp and cabinet.
And that thing sounds spectacular.
Sounds spectacular.
It really does.
Yeah, yeah. So let's check out some sounds.
Let's do it.
Man, fantastic sounds.
Right.
And
Killer.
covers everything.
So easy.
From the cleanest to the heaviest and everything in between. And with all the effects and stuff, you have so many options. I'm super impressed with the sound.
I really am too. And it's so easy to use, just super user-friendly all the way around.
Right. Now, there are a couple more things I want to talk about before we wrap things up. First of those is we've mentioned the app a couple of times. I've got it running here on my MacBook. So the app mirrors exactly what's happening back and forth between the two. So if we change presets, it's going to change presets over here. But what the app does is give you a little bit larger screen, gives you easy access to the different parameters and things. And again, you can just see exactly what's going on there. We can click off of that. We can add another block. Maybe we should add we should probably add we should add a red compressor.
Oh, let's do it.
Onto the front of that. You see how easy that is to do. We can save from here. We can save it with the same name. And when we do, it's updated over here on the screen as well. So all that's happening simultaneously. But the cool thing is that you can really work with your presets because they're all very clearly organized here. And you can set them up exactly the way that you want. Multiple banks. And again, we need to talk about the songs. So for the songs, you can have multiple presets. So for example, for this particular song that we created, we've got an intro preset. We've got a verse preset, and then we've got the chorus. So let's just give us a little playing there. So here's our intro. When we go to the verse, and then the chorus. So this makes it very easy to set up each song. You can have a whole list of songs for everything in your set, and all your presets are right there. Again, you can step on them right on the unit itself once you've got it all programmed. You can do that from this as well, either way, on the computer or on the front panel of the ToneMaster Pro.
Yeah, I agree, man. And for me, again, kind of back to the knucklehead guitar player thing, that looks just like that.
Yeah,
you know, there's no real learning curve between the two. You know?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if we go hit our list view here, we can see we're on song mode there. We've got our songs, it loads it up right away, so you can have your whole list of them there. And then we can organize those songs into set lists. So again, if you have different gigs, you have different venues you're playing, different bands you work with, you can have different set lists for each of those and instantly call them up. It's got all the songs in there. Each of the songs can have all the presets. And so super easy.
Yeah, and this thing has a bazillion presets. I don't even know. We kept scrolling and we kept like
500 or something. 500. Who knows? Yeah, we couldn't find the end of it.
Yeah, crazy.
And again, you can download from the cloud, so tons of presets there. You can jump back to the factory presets very easily. You can store favorites. We've got one of our favorites there. Back to the regular presets, set lists down here. And again, you can do all that from the app as well. So really easy to do all these things.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about is that there also are matching cabinets to go with this. Powered cabinets. And we've got them sitting behind your left hand there.
There they are. Very attractive as well.
Indeed. Two different sizes, and they're full range. So you plug this in, you get the sound exactly as you're hearing it now. We're recording straight into Pro Tools, but it's exactly that same sound coming out of those cabinets. Perfect stage solution.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, looks great. Looks like an amplifier. Looks like a Fender amplifier. Look at that. So we've got a 10 and a 12. Basically, and they've also got high-end drivers in them as well, so you get the full range FR thing.
A feature that I really like here is sometimes when you've created your presets in stereo for the studio, if you collapse those down to mono or you just plug one output in to an amp, you don't get quite the same thing. But with the ToneMaster Pro, if we go to the I/O page, we go to Outputs, you can see we've got stereo and mono for each set of outputs, and so it will take care of managing that for you.
Nice.
And now we can plug into just one cabinet if we're playing mono on stage. Those are the kind of features that just make it so easy to use this.
Yeah, again, we're back to that whole when you pull up a preset, it sounds good. When you add an effect, it does what you expect it to do, and it's nothing crazy.
Right.
And the same like this, it's like, like it was, guitar players put it together thinking, like, how would I use this on stage?
And we know that's true because we've talked to the team at Fender. They're all players.
Exactly.
And they've actually been taking this out on stage and using it, so it's real world. It's designed for the real world. Yeah. So cool. All right, let's go back to stereo because it's got to be in stereo. All right, exit back out. Back to our list view. Don, thanks so much for sitting down and checking this out with me. We've been having fun with this.
We sure have, man. We've been trading back and forth in our offices. Like, I cut a couple tracks with it even.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Because it was so easy.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
So super cool. You definitely want to check this one out. It's the Tone Master Pro from Fender. Don Carr, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. If you have questions, jump over to sweetwater.com and check out the product page on the Tone Master Pro. Or better yet, give your Sweetwater sales engineer a call. They got all the info. Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Mitch.
Good to see you.
All right, good to see you too, man.
And thank you for joining us today.